Now at 6, after 35 years, authorities make multiple arrests in a Douglas County, Missouri cold case. Plus, the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce opens the doors for its annual Business Expo. And a new cultural exhibit explores the legacy and impact of the Black community in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
2 Southwest Missouri investigators spent the last 2 years cracking a case that happened 35 years ago. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Tanya Bach. This week, 3 men were arrested in connection with the 1989 crime. Chris Holland and Leslie Albrecht helped solve the death of the Douglas County's Kellyanne Workman. We're going to bring you this story later in the show. But for now, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with a first look at your forecast.
Hey, it turned out to be a great day for us today. Temperatures fantastic as we went into the upper 60s for a high. 67 is where we topped out. 37, kind of a chilly start. We're going to have a chilly start again in the morning. But look at this, 52 is our average high. So we were way up there, 15 degrees above our average high. Still looks pretty good. 60 Lamar, 62 Neosho, Grand Lake, 64, 63 in Parsons. Temperatures will slowly drop back as we go through the evening hours. Also, it's been kind of breezy. The winds will finally start to lighten up a little bit as we go through the next few hours. Through the evening, sliding back through the 60s, 50s, 40s, eventually upper 30s later on tonight. But we look pretty good. We have partly cloudy skies across the region, not a whole bunch going on across the Central Plains. And it looks like we're going to warm up for the weekend. It will stay a little breezy. Do have a storm system early next week. We'll talk about that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Pittsburgh residents had a chance to get to know local businesses. The Chamber of Commerce today kicked off the annual Pittsburgh Business Expo. Companies have booths set up at Meadowbrook Mall based on the theme Champions Hall. Officials say it's a chance for residents to learn about the people behind the businesses in their community.
We're just able to meet our local businesses, see the type of people that are running businesses in their community. I know our businesses worked really hard to set up today, and they work hard all throughout the year to provide for the community. So I just hope that they can meet each other and network and just learn different services that are right in their backyard.
Well, the expo continues tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The city of Neosho hosted the Show Love Conference today. The event focused on the professional development and networking with women of all ages, professions, and demographics. In addition to the business side of the event, the conference also featured a healthy dose of encouragement and inspiration for all of the women.
Important for women to know they're not alone. I think a lot of times we feel like we're the only one who's going through things, and so to hear from other local business owners, other local business professionals, to know that they're battling the same thing that you're facing. There's a collective sisterhood of women who, whenever you empower them and get them together, they can accomplish amazing things.
Event organizers invited attendees to continue networking at happy hour in downtown Neosho afterwards. The Joplin Museum announces the opening of a brand new exhibit entitled Uplifting Joplin. The exhibit, presented by the Black History of the Ozarks Preservation Society, will showcase the legacy and impact of the Black community in Joplin. If you have stories, memories, or artifacts related to Joplin's Black history, you can contribute to the narrative of this exhibit. You can check out our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for more information. Right now, we're going to bring you that story that we first had about the background behind the cold case solving the Workman murder.
I kept feeling like Kelly was reaching out to me. It was just amazing. Whenever I passed her gravesite, I would look over and think, send me a signal. Give me something, Kelly. I'm trying. Help me, Kelly. I used to say that out loud, and we did it.
We, Leslie Albrecht is referring to, is herself and Chris Holland, 2 cold case investigators who helped solve a 35-year-old case. In 1989, Kelly Workman disappeared while mowing the grounds of a cemetery in Dogwood, Missouri, when she was 25 years old. The body was later found in Christian County. Holland and Albrecht started investigating the case 2 years ago when both worked at the Department of Health and Senior Services. There, they focused on criminal allegations where victims are elderly or dependent adults.
Kelly was not a dependent adult, but Kelly portrayed symptoms in her life of a person that possibly could have had high functioning autism.
Once they got involved, the investigators started putting the pieces together. She describes it as blood, sweat, and tears for 2 years.
I can't tell you how hard it is to do a cold case from over 30 years. Every time you turn around, you're like, oh, I want to talk to this person. They're dead. Just when you start to get so overwhelmed, something would break, something would happen.
When do you know, okay, we solved this case?
When we really knew, obviously, was when an eyewitness came forward.
There was a person that came forward after almost 30 years of holding this inside, that came forward and finally told us the last piece we needed to slide it all together.
Bobby Lee Banks, Leonard Banks, and Willie Belt face charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and forcible rape. Roden Turner, the sheriff back then, hopes the arrests will offer the family comfort.
At least they're going to get what's coming to them, hopefully, and the family is going to have some relief and some closure.
A closure the investigator doesn't believe is happening.
When you lose something so horrendous and you never have closure, you will always have a void.
Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Leslie Albrecht could not share details about the investigation because she did not want to hurt the integrity of the case. She says they've been energized by this work and want to keep investigating local cold cases. Well, later in sports, Friday night means a busy night for high school basketball. John has a preview of the teams vying for a chance to advance to sectionals. But first, the Miami Public Library in Oklahoma encourages patrons to learn a different kind of literacy. One local library is focusing on a different kind of literacy this week. KOAM's Samantha Walker tells us more on how the Miami Public Library is helping the community learn financial literacy.
And we see a need and we want to create a place for others to learn.
The Miami Public Library believes they can offer more than just a good book to read. Staff members say they are there to help the community, and they saw a need for more information on financial literacy.
We want to really create an open canvas for others to really learn about what financial literacy is and really be able to make informed decisions.
The library is hosting a financial literacy week, where local experts on topics such as budgeting and mortgages come to offer free help. Christian Fields made sure to attend multiple programs during the week. She says it's never too late to learn.
I want to know more about finances and budgeting and loans. And so I think that this information should have been given to me in high school. However, I'm glad as an adult I have access to it at my public library.
You may think of, how am I going to pay for buying a home?
Library organizers say the programming is a success if one person is helped.
And that's what our goal is that one person at a time, we want to make a change for them to make a better life for themselves and to find fulfillment.
And for participants, the week provides an opportunity to become more confident.
I feel very confident that finances aren't so scary.
In Miami, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Miami Public Library says they plan to continue holding the Financial Literacy Week every year, and you can find links to resources providing in the programming on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. A little later, some homegrown talent makes the move to the next level. John has the details on the Seneca teammates taking their game to Missouri Southern. That story and more coming up in sports.
Plus, the mild temperatures sticking around as we head into the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up next. Well, it turned out to be a great Friday for us today. Temperatures again up into the 60s, well above where we should be for this time of the year. But our allergies have been slowly creeping up. They're still in that low to moderate range, but they exist out there, mainly the juniper. So today is a 5.8 out of 12, 5.3 out of 12. For us tomorrow, so slowly getting up there. Nice shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. We are looking northwest, kind of can see the sunset. So here's 7th Street. Looks pretty good, and we're going to see very nice conditions as we go through the rest of the evening hours. Temps right now, most of us 60, 62, 63 degrees across the board. We do have kind of a northwesterly wind kicking in. evening daylight hours now starting to stretch out, plus daylight saving time. Second weekend of March, so right around the corner. 60 right now, west-northwest winds at about 10 to 15. Through the evening, slide back through the 50s, 40s, eventually into the upper 30s later on tonight. All right, it's been breezy today. It's still a little breezy out there. Northwesterly winds at about 10 to 15. We've had gusts at times 20 to about 25. These are going to calm down a bit for us tomorrow. The winds are going to switch out of the southwest. Now, as we get into tomorrow night, they bump up and then they go back down as we head into Sunday. So it will be a little bit on the breezy side. We do have some clouds kind of shooting through, but overall, it looks good across the entire Central Plains. Not a whole bunch going on. In fact, here's our weather over the next couple days. A whole bunch of nothing. We're going to have really nice conditions. Here's our next storm system, which is building off the coast of California. That system will start to affect us by the time we head into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Until then, we look okay. All right, chilly tonight, mid-upper 30s, overnight lows. Sunshine in the morning. We warm into the mid to upper 50s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, pretty good. 63 Anderson, Bentonville, 60 in Lamar, 68 in Veneta, Chanute, up to 66. Tomorrow night, not as chilly. Also, those southerly winds keeping our temperatures up, upper 40s to near 50. Once we get into Sunday, look at this. We pop into low to mid 70s for high. So for the last weekend of February, you can't ask for too much more. 63, then 72. Great Saturday, breezy tomorrow night, but warming up as we head into Sunday. All right, let's head into that next storm system. So ahead of it, very windy, warm, Monday, mid 70s, pushing 80 by Tuesday. But this is going to be interesting. Cold front drops in, some thunderstorms trying to erupt along the front, mainly to our south and to our east, but some thunderstorms and maybe a little bit of snow right on the backside as cooler temperatures work in. So kind of a hot spot, mainly from Joplin southeast for thunderstorms on Tuesday evening. We'll keep our eyes on that over the next couple days. 63 tomorrow, 72 on Sunday, 77 on Monday, pushing 80 by Tuesday, and then a high of only 46 on Wednesday. So pretty strong cold front next week, but the weekend looks fantastic.
It's like a big tease for spring, almost summer-like, and then all of a sudden, here's winter again.
Yep, that's how it works.
In the 4 states. Thanks, Doug. Well, Department of Natural Resources issues construction permit for a solid waste processing facility in Lawrence County, Missouri. The facility will transfer non-hazardous solid waste from collection vehicles to long-haul carriers for transport to permitted solid waste disposal facilities. The department must issue an operating permit before the facility can accept waste. Drivers in Vernon County, Missouri may want to find a detour starting next week. Beginning Monday and running through Wednesday, MoDOT plans to replace some damaged pipes beneath Vernon County Route KK. That's west of Nevada. The times for these repairs will take place from 7 in the morning to 5 in the evening. Drivers will have access to driveways and entrances on either end of the work zone, but will not be able to travel through the work zone. Still ahead, 4 local high school basketball teams play in district championships tonight. And 2 high school teammates at Seneca commit to Missouri Southern football. John Dales has those stories and more after the break.
It's a Friday full of district championships on the hardwood in Southwest Missouri. Tonight, 4 of our local teams play for the right to advance to sectionals. Let's start with the Class 3 District 12 Championship in Lamar. Game just tipped off at the top of the hour. It features Diamond girls basketball taking on the Lady Jays of Clever. The Lady Wildcats lost by 18 in the one regular season matchup between these two. We'll have the highlights from round 2 tonight at 9 and 10. That district title game being played in the neutral site. Lamar, just about 20 minutes away, Liberal Girls Hoops has a home game with the district championship up for grabs. Another 6 o'clock start. The Lady Bulldogs have their work cut out for them. They face Hume, who enters tonight only having lost twice all season, and the Hornets hold an 18-game winning streak dating back to mid-December. We'll have the full game highlights from Liberal tonight at 9 and 10 as well. Now to our third district championship of the evening over in Adrian. El Dorado Springs girls basketball plays for the Class 3 District 13 title against Stockton. These two met twice in the regular season. Both times the Bulldogs win by 20 plus. I'll keep you updated on the final score of that one throughout the night. And one last district title game pits Thomas Jefferson girls basketball against the School of the Ozarks. They battle for the Class 1 District 3 championship. That game tips off at 6:30. Earlier this week, Missouri Southern football picks up a couple commits from some recruits right in its backyard. Jackson Mars and Ethan Altick, high school teammates at Seneca, both announced their verbal commitment to Missouri Southern on Twitter. Mars was a first-team All-State running back for the Indians in 2023. Altick was a third-team All-State wide receiver. Now, both of them were huge contributors to Seneca's success this season, leading it to an appearance in the Class 3 state championship. They joined another one of their All-State teammates from Seneca, Morgan Vaughn, who committed to Southern 3 weeks ago. Over to college softball, Pittsburgh State still yet to play a home game in 2024. Home openers coming on Wednesday. This weekend, the Gorillas play in the Washburn Invitational. 2 games for the 18th ranked Gorillas today. They win the first one 7-2 over Minot State. Ava Laurent gets the win for PSU. She throws a full 7 innings, striking out 15, only allowing 4 hits. Game 2 doesn't go quite as well. Pitt State falls to Augustana 6-0. This is just the second loss for the Gorillas this year. They have 4 more contests the rest of the weekend. Meanwhile, Missouri Southern baseball opens MIAA play this afternoon on the road at Fort Hays State, and the Lions get a 14-10 win in Game 1 of a 3-game set. Will Doherty, Tragan Parker, Nate Muskowski all have 3-hit days. The 3 of them combined for 5 RBIs and 6 runs scored. Doherty hits 2 home runs, by the way. The Lions push runners across the plate in 6 different innings, and the Bats lead the way to a win in their MIAA opener. That's a look at sports. Back with more news after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Carthage High School hosts a choir competition. Plus, we'll hear from some Kansas City healthcare workers who sprang into action on their day off to help the victims of the Chiefs Victory Rally shooting. And Arkansas state officials put out a reminder to ease any concerns residents may have about election integrity. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Well, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Speaking of weather.
Yeah, it looks actually pretty good as we head into the weekend. Temperatures tonight, upper 30s, but tomorrow, look at this, 63, 72 on Sunday. The winds will start to pick up a bit. We're going to push 80 by Monday into Tuesday, but chances for thunderstorms on Tuesday, but at least the weekend looks fantastic.
I'm looking forward to a good weekend.
Me too.
That's right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you right back here at 10. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.